Get in there. Right. Okay. Hey, thanks for the likes. Hey, Mel. I'm good. How are you? Hi, TikTok. More sewing today. So this time I'm trying to sew up the Gila monster today, or at least the vest bit. And then I can either move on to the pooping cat or the yawning cat. So I'm going to try and focus on the cats before the lions. And then when I release them, I'm not going to do it all at once. I'm not going to release like 6 dolls. I think I'm going to do the cats, the lions, and then the Gila monster. I think that's my plan of attack. So yeah, this is like the last one that hasn't have the vest bit sewn up. We're getting there. Really tiny stitches. So this is the Gila monster. So far, I'm just looking forward to doing the body on this one, the scale work actually, the painting, all that stuff, all that mumbo jumbo. Mambo jimbo. Thanks so much for the likes. All right, so just do a few more stitches before I take these pins out. Don't want that to pucker too much. You're doing okay. Oh, that's not nice to see, to read. Well, that's nice to hear. All right. This one's a booby trap pin. All right, so I'm just going to unpin both these sides here. Did you finish the seal? Yeah, I did. I did the airbrushing during the week. Took about an hour and a half to do the airbrushing. And then I just sort of finished it off on the live yesterday. So I just need to take some photos, and I'll probably do like a little stop motion of it. And yeah, send the photos to the customer to make sure they're happy. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. So that's nice and finished. Yesterday I did, I finished the sewing on the Zoomies cat. So as you can see, it's not trimmed yet. So I glued it all up yesterday as well in the live. So yeah, it's ready for like the fur and to give everything a trim, and then the airbrush, and that one will be finished. So I'm trying to concentrate on doing the cats, let alone I'm doing the Gila. I know I'm doing the Gila monster at the moment, but I'm trying to concentrate on doing the cats next. But I sort of just want to get this sewn up because it's like a half done job. So I don't want to leave it and it like half done processes. Zoomies cat from vest to best. That's right. So yeah, just trying to get this torso piece done so they're all sort of at the same stage. I mean, it's not necessary that I have to do it, but you know, just for my own sanity, we'll get them to a point where I'm happy. So yeah, still lots of sewing to do. But you can sort of, once you add the fur on the face and stuff, you can sort of start to see their personality come through. So that's an exciting step. Right, let's tie this bit off here. Right, so this is like the, because the Gila monsters are kind of poisonous, they're poisonous. So they've got like really big glands on the side of their head. So this is basically what I'm trying to replicate here. So they've got, big glands. But what I'm going to do is tie off. I'm going to go to the cross section now. Tie off so I can start sewing this bit in this cross section. What kind of fabric do you use for the Gila monster and other lizards? So this is just, well, this one was the heat changing fabric that I was going to use for the chameleon. So it was supposed to be like bright blue and bright green. But like you can sort of tell that it changes color a little bit, like with heat. I've got a heater here actually. But yeah, it sort of changes color with heat, as you can see. But it was just a bit dull. So it's just like a cotton fabric actually. And I'm just going to use it because I've got it. So there's no point wasting it. But it's just like a cotton fabric. And the scale work is a combination of different mediums that I sort of used I've got a video on it, but I used this little syringe, which I put the medium in, obviously, and then do each scale individually. So I find that works really well. So that's basically what I'm going to do. I want to experiment. Sorry if the plane noise is noisy. I want to experiment with doing like fake snakeskin next because I haven't found like a fabric that really I'm happy with. You responded to me in one of your videos. Thank you. Oh, that's okay. This type of art. How did I get started? I just sort of started. It didn't sort of look like this. It was more like a plush with a head, like a sculpted head, and then it just sort of transformed into this. But I have a YouTube channel which I got heaps of tutorials on there. I pretty much do a video for each doll that I make, so like the whole process. So yeah, just check that out. And I've got tutorials in my shop as well. Try not to get a restriction here too much, but link is in my my bio. So I tried to make the tutorials pretty affordable for people. And yeah, that's pretty much, to sum it up, to say the least. But yeah, so I was going to talk about yeah, the snake skin. So that, yeah, there's. I just want to try that method with like a fake snake skin, because you can get like a fake vinyl, but it's really thick and it sort of restricts the posability of the doll too much. So I don't really want to use the fake vinyl, and you can't really get great colors either. It's all like kind of fake colors. It's just the texture that I need, basically. So I'm going to do a bit of experimenting with the best ways to do snakeskin. I'm not confident it's going to work, but we'll just have a crack and see if it does work, which I don't think it will. So is what it is if it doesn't. No, it's just because I said SHOP. You know. Well, I didn't get one yesterday, surprisingly. So that was surprising. A change. But yeah, there's like heaps of different sort of techniques that I want to try as well. With bird feathers is one of them. Bird feathers is one of them. I have an idea. I just want to make them a bit more realistic than what I've currently got going on at the moment. So I use felt at the moment for bird feathers. I have an idea, type of thick, stretchy felt, and use. You don't know the name? Well, yeah, I was thinking of doing embossing, but I'd have to make a die for the die, the print. I'd have to make it. So I did think about doing that, but I mean, it's just a lot of work, and yeah, I don't know. I'll think of something. So I haven't made. I want to do a rattlesnake. I think that's going to be the next snake, but their scales are really textured and uniform, and they're like little triangles that sort of sit on top of each other. So I think that's going to be a tricky one to replicate. The problem with the medium is because I add Mod Podge to it for that flexibility, it sort of starts blending into each other and you lose that crisp line. So that's kind of why I'm thinking it's not going to work. But yeah, I did think of embossing, but you need to make a die for it. And I don't want to have to do the scales one at a time, if that makes sense. What's the name of the thing? It's an armature. It's a ball and socket armature. This is a bigger size. This is like the medium size one. I've got 3 different sizes that I use. This one's small. I don't have any lying around. Oh, yes, I do. This is the small size. So medium size. And then there's a bigger size as well. So it's a ball and socket armature. Would you make the rattlesnake? Yes, that's kind of why I want to do a rattlesnake. I want to make the rattle. But yeah, I just got to like find the materials that sound like a rattlesnake. But I think that's ambitious. I think in this ambitious project, but that's what I'm doing this year. Projects that are ambitious. Where can you find it? I've got some in my shop. I get it from a wholesaler. But I've got reels of it. The only thing that I don't have in stock anymore, they sell really quickly, are the pliers that you need to clip them together. So I've only got the largest size left. I think I've got 3 left. Toothless? No, it's a Gila monster. I haven't made Toothless before. I've actually never seen the movie, so never seen the movie. Apologies. This probably be a pretty cute doll to make, but you know, it does look like Toothless from here, doesn't it? But different shape, but you know. Oh my god, tangled. Sometimes they get tangled up in there. Little maraca noodle, exactly. Hey Jazz, how are you? Little maraca noodle. I think it'd be a cool thing. And they got such like gnarly looking faces too. Even though rattlesnakes aren't native to here. Can you show the chameleon? Yes, I will show you. I'll just do this stitch. Here's my chameleon. There's a close-up of the texture. Feels really nice. Well, that's a chameleon, so it's fully posable as well. Your hands are posable just slightly as well, just to, you know, just for the lols. But yeah, tail's posable. So there you go. The eyes point like slightly different directions, just for, you know, extra bit of detail. But you know, that's the chameleon. It's all hand painted too. Did you? No, everything's made by hand. I did all the scales by hand, individually. So it was a big sort of experiment with the scale work. It took 10 hours to do the skin. It's just cotton fabric, the same cotton fabric as this. Good, thanks. Is the cat? Is that a cat? Yeah, it's a Zoomies cat. Can't quite get it. Yeah, it's like a half-done Zoomies cat. So it's based off a Burmese, a chocolate Burmese. I'm impartial to Burmese cats, so because I have one. All right, sorry. I'm going to undo this, even though it's going to burst at the seams. I might actually just move it down a little bit because it's tight. So I'm just going to move it here. No, that's fine. Just ask away. Gives me something to talk about. That's fine. Sometimes I run out of things to talk about, you know. It's so cute. Wait until you see the pooping cat. If you think this is cute, wait till you see the poopy cat. They're all cute. And the yawning cat. Look, I'm doing a yawning one too, so. She's also cute. Right, so just trying to keep the seam line sort of in the same place, so it's in the same stretch. Even though I generally can hide it pretty well, especially with this type of fabric. But yeah, I just want to sort of keep it in the same field. So here, pooping cat. Yeah, you know, look, comes with props. Comes with props. Props or plops, whatever. This one's pinched at the end. Comes with props or plops. When you do the armature, how do you make the armature connect to the head? I use epoxy sculpt to connect it to the head. But you can use, you know, any types of epoxy. But yeah, epoxy sculpt into the head. What type of stitching? Hang on, I'm just gonna this. What type of stitching do you use? I wish I knew how to say. This one's called a ladder stitch. So it basically sort of curls, so there's like your edges of the fabric, and when you stitch it, it sort of curls it together like that and creates like a softer seam line, if that makes sense. So it's not like raw edge on raw edge. That's like the best sort of way to explain it, I think. I thought you were going to say, as I was reading, I thought you were going to say, you're really good at making fake poop. Oh, but thank you. I've been doing it for a while now, so now's the time to make some weird things. That's what I think. Some of the polyfill keeps sort of getting tangled up in the stitch, so I keep picking at it. All right. So when I'm using this cotton fabric, I've got to do this stitch quite small, so the fabric doesn't pucker. But when I'm doing it with faux fur, it sort of hides the seam line a lot better. So I don't have to be so precise about my stitch. But yeah, using flat fabrics to just take a bit longer to sew. Just FYI there. And so that's sort of why I'm doing tiny, tiny stitches to avoid like puckering. And now I'm just sort of following the natural fold of, the fabric here. So you can see it's like naturally folded closed a little bit here. And then I'll go back and sew down here. And these will have separate legs done and separate tail. And the tail's quite bulky as well. No problem. Yeah, got a lot of art doll supplies in there. It starts getting a bit easier to sew once you've got the fabric tamed, so to speak. But when I do the scale work, I'll put basically the scale on the seam lines to hide it for the most part. Good for pooping cat. Yeah, they're called Action Cats, the series. So this is my first bunch of cats. So I'm starting off with 3. So one's zoomies, one's yawning, and one's pooping. And then, I've got the next lot in mind. But we'll see how these go before I do the next lot. How do you get the ideas? That just comes up. Sometimes just like talking about it on live. I sort of talk myself into it these days. So I was just being a bit silly this year. I did 3 medieval cats recently, so something I've always wanted to do medieval cats. So I thought this year we're doing medieval cats, and I did 3 of them, and yeah, a bunch of stop motions with them, etc. You gotta leave it, no problems. Thanks, it's up and by. But yeah, I got an idea for the next medieval cat as well, which I will it's sort of turning into a little story with the stop motions with the medieval cats, that is. So it's just a bit of fun. But generally I'm doing like fake taxidermy pieces. So I pretty much done all of the big cats, working on 2 lions because they're sort of the last ones that I haven't made before. Lucky last are the lions. So yeah, I made all the other, and then I'm going to do like offshoots of big cats that are different colors, you know. I'm going to do a golden tiger in the next batch. Yeah, a couple of different options in the next batch. Hello, Carrie. How are you? Thanks for the likes. Doing some sewing. What's new? Lots of sewing to do. Just doing this Gila monster, and then I'll move on to maybe like one of the cats. Pooping cat or yawning cat. I've still got to do the legs for them, so I can get those prepared, I think. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we're getting there slowly. I finished the leopard seal. That's one down. Pretty much like 80% done with the Zoomies cat. Just got to do like, give it a trim, do the fur, and then airbrushing, and then done. You should make a fluffy snake. A fluffy snake? Yes, the cats. The cats next. We can't collect the Gila monster. We got to give him a vest. Whoops. Alright, so undo that. So that's sort of the T section that I've got so far. So I'm going to feed this back through here without poking my fingy. I've got so many pokes on my fingers at the moment. Okay. Now, so I'm going to tie off here and sort of start again, basically, without actually chopping the thread off. So I'm pulling this quite tight because I want it to conform around the polyfill that I've done. So how many animals have you made that don't have feathers and scales? I've done a fair few dragons. I've done a few birds, definitely a few birds, but I've sort of used fur for the majority. Oh, thank you. The last bird that I made was a toucan. Toucan had a movable beak. And I generally use felt to make the feathers, so I try not to use animal products. So yeah, I generally use felt for the feathers, but I want to experiment with some other techniques to make them a bit more realistic. While the felt looks good, I think I can make him a bit more realistic, in my opinion. So good sewing. Oh, thank you. So sewing, I hate sewing, by the way, so just to put that out there, every time I'm sewing I have to tell you, make it known, I'm not a sewer. It's just a part of the process. And when you're using fabrics like this, you can't avoid a seam line. Like, you're going to have it. It's just trying to find the best way to hide it. Which, yeah, the scale work was pretty good at hiding the chameleon seam. So I'll probably, yeah, do that. Not the knot. Always the knot. So sometimes you get knots in there and it's a bit frustrating, but you know, we'll try and get it out. Sometimes, like, you know, things get caught up in it and it'll make a knot. So, like the polyfill or the pile from the fur, or just the thread itself. I'm guessing the cat on the screen is Zoom. Yeah, that's the Zoomies cat. So it's based off a chocolate Burmese. So the yawning cat is based off a blue Siamese kitten. So when I sculpted it, I didn't have like a cat in mind, but when I finished sculpting it, I was like, oh, that looks exactly like a Siamese kitten. So yeah, I chose to go with a blue point Siamese kitten. And move it forward, which I'm going to airbrush like the mask on both of them. And the pooping cat is more of a solid cat, so I sort of based it off a kind of a British short hair. So that one's going to be a silver tabby. So it's just not like one of those big chunky ones, but yeah, it's going to be a silver tabby. So I'll do like the tabby markings on the body with the airbrush. I was originally going to do it orange, but I just wasn't getting the orange vibe. I was getting silver tabby. So that's what I went with. You have a cat, so it's going to be, yeah, I think so too. It's purely for the cat people. The way it sort of came about was I made one of the medieval cats. I made the joke is I've got a butthole for it. I put a butthole on it, and people got really offended about it. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to make a pooping cat. That was my thought process, if you're interested. So yes, people got a bit offended about that one, which is weird. But I reckon they're dog people. That's what I put it down to. They're just dog people. Cat people understand. Okay, this is the booby trap area, which I keep getting poked with this needle. Okay, you can see it's sort of starting to naturally fall into its own path. Your cat's name is Jethro. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was funny. But some people didn't. So the pooping cat's going to have a butthole too, which I have sculpted, mind you. So I don't know how close you can see. There you go. You adopted a homeless cat that came here who was yours. Oh, that's nice of you. I've got a cat hanging around. I've seen it the last 2 days in a row. It's an orange cat. I think it's a stray, but I've never seen this cat before. It doesn't have a collar, and it's just like out all the time. So I don't know where it could be coming from. I don't think it's somebody's cat, but I haven't like seen it up close. I've just sort of managed to catch it running away. But my cat would not be impressed if it got a glimpse of it. I do plan on making a turtle eventually, but yes, I haven't made one yet. I was sort of in two minds about what kind of turtle. I think a snapping turtle would be kind of cool. Yeah, I think he might be a stray. It's only little, so it's full grown, but I've just seen it the last 2 days. Let's see. I don't think yeah, I don't know that many like rescues here would even care. This one was born with an right. Yeah, okay. There was one cat that was hanging around a couple of years ago, which I'm pretty sure was a stray, and it managed to catch a pigeon, and like it was just like all over my yard, this pigeon. I was like, oh my god. I'm pretty sure it was the cat that got the pigeon because I don't think there's any foxes that get into our backyard, but the pigeon was everywhere. He had fur on his eyes 25. That would be so irritating for him. So he's staying with you now, obviously. Is he tame? Is he people friendly? Yeah. I don't think the pigeon was very smart. I don't think what the pigeon was. I'd seen the pigeon sort of hanging around, so it was probably sick or something. Mata, snapping turtle, river turtle. Yeah, I was thinking either snapping turtle or just like green sea turtle, just stock standard green sea turtle. But the snapping turtle, at least I'd do like a movable jaw on it. I mean, I'll eventually get there with all of them. Took 4 weeks to tame him. Oh, that's nice. What colour? What colour is he? Probably stray. There's a cat in my house that someone owned. It lets you pick it up. I reckon that's a sign that it's yours. Yeah. You never know, Michael, who's is a dumped pet as well, or a runaway pet. We had a it had points. The color was it was a blue point, and it looked like it wasn't a full Siamese, but it had points, color points on it. And I'm pretty sure it was somebody's cat, and it would come around here and harass my cats all the time. So we caught it because it just kept coming to the window harassing my cats. And like every night, same time, come to my window and annoy my cats. So we caught it to take it, and we took it to the vet. The vet didn't want anything to do with this cat. Fly river turtles are the only freshwater turtle. Fins look like a sea turtle. There you go. He's white with ginger ears and tail. Oh, cute. The kid said cat was his. You never know. I'd never let my cat out again. My previous cat used to go out, but not my cat. My now cat. One, she's an assassin, and two, someone would just pinch her. She's a brown Burmese, so she wouldn't have any road sense either. Yeah, I'll definitely look them up. When I get to I'm going to make a turtle stage. I'm trying to keep like a reptile on the go, so maybe the next reptile I'm going to make after the Gila monster is a leopard gecko. So maybe after the leopard gecko, I'll chuck a turtle in there. That's how you know. Yeah, people just need to keep their cats inside, to be honest. But yeah, my cat would like decimate everything living around here. I could not. My last cat had like zero hunting instincts. Not interested. She's like, caught like a baby mouse once or twice, and that's it. A couple of bugs. But yeah, I don't know. No hunting instinct whatsoever, that one. Not interested in birds, lizards, anything. Not interested. Not that I want them to touch with lizards anyway, because they're salmonella. My cat's a Minx cross Persian. Everyone thinks he's a ragdoll. When you take him for a walk, yeah, he would look like a ragdoll, huh? No tail? No tail would be a dead giveaway, surely. So we're starting to get a good seam line. This particular sewing takes forever on this, but just bear with me. Trust the process. Just wondering, like with the turtle, the best way to do the shell obviously needs to be hard. So whether I do it with, epoxy sculpt, which I think is probably going to be how I do it. Probably, I think the best way to do it and hold the form would possibly be on a balloon. Just have to spend some time looking at some reference images and come up with a plan. So that's generally what I do before I make something. He has a tail. There you go. I generally have a good look at some reference images, come up with a plan, especially if I haven't made it before. Cats, a million times I've made cats. Big cats, same. Still look at reference images, but so I sort of do a little bit of studying, I guess. Anatomy studying. Trying to think of the best process to approach. I'm going to do a bit of experimenting with like nail art stuff, supplies. So you can get what seems to be moldable nail stuff, which you cure with the UV lamp. So I think that might be a good option for nails that need a bit more strength. So like the nails that are going to be on this, I think would be a good approach. I'm going to do experimenting with that because I was using clay, but it's like super fragile and I don't want to like put a doll out there with really fragile pieces. So I'm going to try some nail stuff. I think it's a good opportunity there to experiment, and people put them on nails, so they withstand a bit of action. Do I live in? Yes, I'm Australian. Yeah, you go, mate. Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate, I'm an Aussie. Yup. Sometimes people get confused about the accent. It's so funny because I just don't feel like I can't tell the accent. So it's funny. It's funny to hear someone say, I've got an accent. I'm an Australian accent. It's funny. It'd be funny. I want to know, like, in another language, when people speak another language, like how that accent sounds in another language. I'll never know. I'll never understand. But, like, from someone else's perspective, I'd be interested to know what it sounds like. Australian accent in another language. Hello, Andreas. How are you? I'll never understand that thought. Was that kind of sad? I'm good as well. Doing some sewing, you know. Making dolls. I had a bit more action on TikTok yesterday. It's actually going quite good, but today's a bit quiet. You never know. I'll do some sewing on the cats next. How about that? That might pique people's interest a bit more. I have to do a lot of painting on this one because it's got to be black and orange. So I'll hand paint this though. Like, sewing is boring, but you're just good at it. Sewing is so boring. I'm not that great. I've got a idea for a Christmas doll, actually, already, even though it's like 6 months away. But Christmas doll, as I came up with this on another live. I'm going to do a Sphinx cat with a ugly Christmas sweater. So that's going to be my Christmas doll this year. So I'm going to, like, I don't know if I've just got to try and find like an ugly Christmas sweater or sew one. So I have a hunt around for maybe some fabric or like some ugly Christmas sweater that's meant for small dogs or cats or something, you know. I think it's going to be a good idea. It's hard to explain the Australian accent sounds to me, but there's several different accents. Like in Australia, Queenslanders sound different. Queenslanders sound different. I think Melburnians sound different too. Like far out Queenslanders. I just kind of think it's like British with a twang. If that makes sense. Good idea. Yeah, that's going to be my... Last year I did a Krampus. But this year I'm just going to be like ugly Christmas sweater Sphinx. Little Chrissy hat, you know. Perfect idea. Halloween dolls, though. I'm still trying to ponder the Halloween dolls. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do a bat. I've got like a coffin, like a wooden coffin that I wanted to decorate as the prop. And I wanted it to do a bat that sort of sits inside. It kind of lives in there. Maybe I could do like a vampire bat. And a nice knot here. Yeah, maybe we could do like a vampire bat, play on words. Just gonna undo that. Vampire bat. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. So I don't often. I've done Halloween dolls 2 years in a row now. I didn't actually do them previously. The Halloween's not really big here. It's getting bigger, but it's not huge. But yeah. I'm just gonna tie this off just so in case it snaps, because just getting a vibe. Just getting a snappy vibe. When I hear a Scandinavian speak English, I can tell if they are Norwegians. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I just think we like British with like a lazy British accent. Everything's everyone has a abbreviation. I should write down some ideas for Halloween dolls. I did have an idea and I've like completely forgotten. Should I just do another cat? Because why not? You never thought about it like that. Yeah, I think that's the best way. A British accent, but lazy. Lazy and abbreviated. We had a lot of British shows, you know, when I was growing up. There was a lot of British kids shows, so but I think there was like a stage. Is it Gen Z? I had a lot of American shows and they were just like getting an American accent. But now the Americans are getting an Australian accent because of Bluey, which I find funny. British person after several drinks. Yeah, exactly. 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 That's pretty much every Australian around here. Permanently drunk. Beer. Beer. You have a beer. One of the Halloween dolls that I did, not last year, the year before, I did two. One was a pumpkin cat, it's still looking for a bloody home. And the other was a raccoon, but like I did the raccoon sticking out its tongue. It was like a crappy ghost costume. That was the trick or treat, crappy ghost costume, which I literally made out of a pillowcase. That was the whole gag, I guess. And it had its tongue sticking out, and I cut a hole in the ghost costume for the tongue. A raccoon with a crappy ghost outfit. So I kind of want to do like a silly Halloween doll like that. I thought it was a good idea. It was cute too. One day you made a tardigrade. Yeah, I don't know how to spell it. I try to pick like weird things. You know, stuff that I haven't seen before, so maybe. I've got like a whole list. Literally like a book that I've made a list of animals that I want to make. I don't have the raccoon anymore. That where did that go? I think that went to the States. That got snapped up pretty quickly, actually. That one. But it's been a while since I've made a raccoon. But kind of I don't know what's a Halloween animal, you know? What's a Halloween animal apart from a bat and a black cat? Yeah. Well, I don't know how I'd make that. It'd probably have to be like a solid sculpture. Raccoons are cute, yeah. But I'd like to do like mini sculptures eventually as well. So I'd like to do like a bunch of nudie branch, like small ones. I wanted to do like little frogs as well. I feel like the only problem why I haven't done it is I feel like I can't charge enough for something that's small because it just takes so long to sculpt things, you know. So that's sort of what's stopping me, because the amount of time it takes to sculpt little things, and I just don't think I could charge enough for it, to be honest. Like I'm pushing my luck with the price of art dolls, you know. They sit around for a lot longer than what they used to, which I know there's obvious reasons why. But like, you know, the cost of them, the materials is like gone up so much. The time it takes. It's not about size. It's not, exactly. It's about how you use them. That'd be cheeky. Yeah. So I've done a few sculptures. But yeah. A puffin, yeah, it would be puffin. They're pretty cute. Similar, probably a similar structure to the toucan that I did. There's so many animals, you know, that I want to make. I want to do a capybara. I want to do a honey badger. I've been wanting to do a lynx for a long time, a Eurasian lynx. Been having like a hard time finding the right type of fur for it. That's sort of why I haven't done it yet. I think I have one in my stockpile that might work. So when it's time, I pull it out and have a look. Do you have raccoons? No, we don't. We don't have raccoons here. We've got possums, marsupials, a lot of marsupials. No raccoons though. The closest thing to a raccoon would be maybe like a ringtail, brushtail possum. But yeah, they're a marsupial. But yeah, I'll pick some weird animals out of my list, maybe add them to my, you know, my batches. You don't have possums either. Yeah, you guys have got. I mean, possums are pretty restricted to Australia and New Guinea. So I'd be surprised if you had possums. Hey, the spiders aren't the problem here. We don't have bears, wolves, cougars. We don't have that. We don't have big cats. So spiders any day. Come on. They're generally harmless. They leave you alone. The huntsmans do. I mean, we've got some pretty gnarly snakes, which I don't do venomous snakes. No thanks. I'll look at them. Don't want them near me. Out of their own free will. Don't want them near me. It's just don't run in grass when it's warm. That's it, really. Don't stick your hands under things where redbacks could be. That's about it, really. We can still walk out in a forest and not have to watch for bears. No thanks. That's way more scary. You got badgers. You've got bears. See, bears, wolves, lynx. Come on. People never see them. Bears, though. A bear. A bear. I'll take a spider any day. A spider is just like, pew. They stay far into the woods, yeah. What if you want to go hiking or something? Would you have like those bear repellent whistle things or something? I don't know. Moose? Imagine running into a moose. Yeah, no. I mean, we got dingoes, but I mean, they're pretty restricted to a certain area. I've never seen a dingo. Seen plenty of dangerous snakes, but a couple of redbacks, which are not great, but they leave you alone. Yeah, I think the biggest carnivore thing is a dingo around here. Oh, crocodiles. Little crocodiles, but they're up north and not around here. Yeah, the cray hikers. Yeah, no thanks. Like we can go camping and not like get jumped by something with big canines. I mean, maybe a dingo, but you know, if you're in dingo territory, you know they're going to come up to you. They're a bit cheeky too, these dingoes. And people try and pat them because they think they're bloody dogs. Of course, they're going to bite you. It's a dog. It's a wild animal. The crocodiles, yeah. Yeah, they're up north, but so you just don't go swimming up there. We don't have them down here. We've got the sharks, the great whites. We've got the sharks and other sea creatures that want to do damage. But I've never seen a crocodile down here where I am. We're up like Queensland, Northern Territory way. But yeah, there's sharks, obviously. We're on an island. Sharks everywhere. A Cuban crocodile. Gee. We've just got the salties up here. Big salties, the biggest ones you can get. Oh, look, last little bit. We're at the end. But crocodile would be a good one to make. Big salty. With a movable jaw. That'd be cool. Let's put that on the list. Maybe after the turtle. We'll do a crocodile. Big saltwater crocodile. I did want to do, so I did like a little video about either sea smoke from Game of Thrones or Shiranui from the game Okami. So people voted for Shiranui from Okami. But then the next lot, I'll do sea smoke. You're not coming to where you are. It's got to be somewhere around the Cuba area, right? Cuba. What's my favorite animal? And mine's pretty basic. It's a tiger. It's basic. It's always been a tiger. I did like turtles for a while, but it's a tiger. It's pretty basic. It's not a fancy schmancy, but they'll forever hold that place. For me, it must be sloth. It isn't Caribbean islands. There you go. Very exotic. I mean, I'm probably exotic. Just a plain Jane white person in Australia. Tigers are cool. Yeah, I like tigers. They're my faves. Ever since I was a kid. Last little bit, and the tail will be separate. So yeah, I'll do the golden tiger next batch. It's been a while since I made a tiger, so I wanted to do like a fantasy colored tiger too, but I'll do that later on. You've moved to America, so don't have to worry. Well, there's other things to worry about. Plenty of other things to worry about. Animals are the least problem. Okay, hopefully I don't run out of thread. If I saw a croc run like a dog, it's the devil. Hey, alligators are pretty crazy when they like hop. A giant owl. I do want to do an owl eventually. I've sort of neglected birds a little bit, so I said the next bird I'd do would be a secretary bird, make it nice and difficult for myself. But yeah, then I'd have to experiment with the feather thing. That was the plan. Yeah. I thought about doing like extinct animals as well. I did Tasmanian tiger. I've made 3 of them so far. But yeah, it'd be something for, a series at all. Yeah, they've been under there for so many years, right? I mean, one dictatorship to another, I guess. Yeah, right, okay. Like, it'd be cool to do like a dodo. The first like megafauna thing I was thinking of would be a saber-tooth cat, direwolf. Your favorite animal is a cat, horse, and a guinea pig. They did make good squeaking sounds. Oh, we're getting there. I thought they were the best fight out because of the weight. They do, yeah, they're super strong legs. They're so cool. There was a I think it was a BBC, I think it was. They were like showing the way wings work on like a pigeon, and then I think it was a falcon and an owl, and the owl was like dead silent. Obviously, pigeons are like, but yeah, the owl was like dead silent. It's really interesting. Good one, Dodo. Yeah, I know that it's done. Let's do this little bit. I think I'm going to run out of thread to go down, but that's fine. I'll just do it when I do the tail. Yeah, I know. Pigeons, man. Pigeons, man. Right, so I just going to tie this off here at this cross section. And then this next flap. Yeah, I'm just going to trim that a little bit because we want that here. Pigeons, man. Yeah, pigeons, man. Don't all birds got to do that. Yeah, because they got to like look. They want to look down. They're like, sorry, I have to translate that. Sorry. What animal is this? This one's a Burmese zoomy kitten. This is a Gila monster. So far. Well, I'm glad you can understand that. My local translator. Alright, sorry. Tie this in. But it's all fake. It's not real. Like that. What about chickens? They're like... Oh, thank you for the rose. Just flip this bit in. So I'm going to just cut a tiny bit here just to release that tension because it's sort of puckering a little bit. So just release that tension a bit. Birds are weird, right? Let's just come to that conclusion. Birds are weirdos. What is going on? Oh, you know, just fakeodermy. Just fakeodermy, just some really well-behaved animals. Getting an upgrade. No, I make they're art dolls. I make like fake taxidermy pieces. Just a little FYI there. Can you please answer me? What did you ask? Where's the favourite? Can I say I don't have a favourite? This is just something I'm working on at the moment. What am I answering, Lauren? The comment might have been filtered if I didn't see it. Sometimes TikTok filters things. I tried to make a ferret, but it looks like a cat. Yeah, it's really hard to get, like dimensions and features correct, and then they'll end up looking like another animal. So I get you. I find rodents particularly. I was referencing something else. He's chainsawing. I feel like someone's been chainsawing here for the last, I don't know, every Friday for the last 2 weeks or something. Anyway. I might have enough to go down. Maybe not. I don't know. So yeah, start to get off this little nap. Yeah, sometimes TikTok filters out certain things. So if I didn't answer, that means I didn't see it. Maybe it was something rude. What day is it for me? Is it Monday? I was trying to think of something cheeky. It's Friday. It's Friday here. Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Well, that was pretty much a job well done. Glad this is out of the way for this doll. The legs don't take too long to sew. I'm not going to do it now, obviously, but the legs don't take too long to sew. It's sort of just getting everything to sit right. I could put the legs on, pin them all together before I sew it. I will have to do that eventually. I said I'd work on the cats, though. I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I might try. It's Friday morning here. Today is Wednesday. How far behind in the past are you? Or how far in the future am I? Is this a Back to the Future? Friday. Alright, I'll do this and then I'll do the legs for one of the kiddies. Get as far as I can with this. Friday. How many things can you chainsaw here? Anyway, neighbours, you gotta love them. I'm going to come up with a pattern for the Gila monster. All the patterns are really different. I don't know whether to do like more black or more orange. Probably, I don't know, more orangey. I think I like that sort of vibe a bit better. Alright, probably have to tie this off because we're running out of thread here. But I will tie it off, and then when I do the tail piece, I'll sew it up properly. Got a couple of knots. Couple of knots, mate. All right. My cat only goes crazy at night or midnight normally. Well, of course, that's a given, right? Okay. Here we go, Gila monster body. Hooray. So the next part will be doing the fabric for the legs. So they'll be nice and tight. Fabric for the little nappy tail. So those will be sewn up, and then I can start painting it. So actually not that far off finishing this guy. I have to do the scale work first. So I make feathers out of felt at the moment. So I basically cut each feather out and make it look like a feather. And then just sort of, bunch them together. But I want to try a different process using like maybe cotton fabric because I want to make them a bit thinner and, a bit more feather-like. So I think, I want to try a different technique with feathers, just cotton fabric and maybe like Mod Podge. All right, we've got Yawning Cat here. That's the closest one to me. This is Yawning. So I sculpted all the inside of it. You can see it's all been sculpted. The kiwi bird. Yes, someone's been asking, like I've had a few people ask about kiwi birds, so I was going to put a kiwi bird in my next lot. I've been wanting to make one for a while. And there's a place in New Zealand, it's a kiwi reserve that we're interested in seeing one. So, there's a cat. There's a real one. All right, so we are going to do one up there. Yes. This is a real one that I finished and it's come to life. I put a spell on it. This is a real one. This is a real one. This is a pre-finished piece. All right. You're in the way, mate. Love the nubby tail. Just she is. That's the Burmese that we're talking about here. She's cold because it's cold here. She's cold. All right. So I think this piece is going to be too short. We got quite long legs. Oh, yeah, too short. So there's like a little bit missing here. So I need it to be like that much longer. So that's fine. I will use it for the fur on the face. Hopefully I have enough. Surely I have enough. That's going to be interesting. These will be airbrushed as well. So I'm going to find the pile length. Hopefully this will be... No, I hope this isn't too short. So these legs are quite small. Oh, I think it's good. I think it's good. I'll record this actually. This is going really sort of blurry. So is it real though? Or is it at all? Yeah, it is. Get to see real cat behind. That's it. A finished piece. Right, so I'm going to pin these together fairly tight. I'm going to try and maximize the use of this fabric as well because I'm running a bit low. So I've got the pile on this going down the leg. Yeah, she just like looks at you because she's cold. I've got like a little heater on here because it's freaking freezing. She just like stands there like that, you know. Dissatisfied is her personality. Dissatisfied with everything. All right. That's probably, don't push a pin into your finger. Right. Okay. So I think that's kind of looking good. I'm going to pin this top bit so it doesn't move, so I don't. Thanks for the follow, Lily. Can you do frogs? Eventually, yes, I will do a frog. I can pretty much do anything at the moment. Where's the cat you had in the background? No, I actually used it for stop motion, so oops. How do I get rid of this massive chat? Get. Oh my god, I can't get rid of this chat. There we go. Sorry. No, I did a stop motion with it, 2 of them. So they were just sort of still set up in that spot. I sort of did the stop motion and bailed. It's somewhere. I just quickly put her down, but no, I didn't get in trouble for it. I can bring her back. I don't want to seem like a weirdo or anything. A fluffy frog. I wanted to do a rain frog. You know how they got like cute little butts? Of course, that's where I go with these ideas. Thanks, guys. If you haven't seen a rain frog, they got little butts. And they look disheveled all the time. Okay. So just clean up the excess a little bit. All right. So these legs are generally pretty thin. Just going to trim a little bit of this off. Probably not going to trim much off this cat, maybe like a tiny bit on the legs, but I'm not going to give like a big old trim. That's one leg. Surely I have another one of these. Surely I didn't use the whole thing on this. You saw a woman that showed her. Oh. It's pretty cute, I have to say. I mean, not the woman, but little frog butt. Little frog butt. Alright, so I think I'm gonna have to trim that a little bit. It's unavoidable. Pin. So basically just, pinning it together as we go. And then I can sort of trim off the excess. Okay, that should be good there. Right here. I don't know how you get a pin bent like that. It makes for difficult pinning, that's for sure. Okay. Now, pin. Flying pin, jeez. All right. So I don't want too much excess excess fabric on here. It makes it a bit too thick. So it's going to follow around here. Okay. Booby trap. Maybe you've hit this skeleton with it. Oh no, I don't know what I did. I think it's like bent as I'm trying to like pin something really thick. Would I prefer skateboard, scooter, rollerblades? Probably. I mean, I was really into rollerblades when I was little, but I probably can't for the life of me use pair of rollerblades anymore. So maybe bike. I guess I could still ride a bike. Okay, so that is that one ready to be sewn up. Looking good. All right, so do this one. Well, I've got seemingly enough, hopefully enough. Scooters. I used to have a scooter. I used to ride a scooter too. It was orange. And obviously silver. A Razor. Back in the day. I'm just trying to flatten out the excess on here. This fur gets up your nose. It's so like thin. Okay. Thanks for all the lights. You have a Switch Up Pro. I'm out of the scooter game. I don't know what's good these days. I thought I heard a pin fall down. Okay. Ouch. Right, I'll pin this. You made it. I know. I don't have long left though. Unfortunately. Alright. Pin this bit. Your new cat loves to rub his face and head on my face. Aww. He likes you. Yeah. I don't get very long these days to work on the dolls. So I've got a 2.5-year-old, so she wakes up about 2, which is almost 2. So I can really only get it in when she's having a nap. But so we've got to maximize the use of the time. She's sort of stirring around now anyway, because somebody's using a chainsaw. All right, one more leg. Maybe I don't even have enough for the tail. Maybe not. Let's see if I have another piece. I don't know. Okay. Just trying to minimize the wastage on this fabric. I'm not going to have enough to do the lion. I've got another piece, but it's not exactly the same. It's slightly, the texture is slightly different, but I think it should be okay once I trim it and add the airbrushing on it. So we'll just have to see. We'll work it out. We will work it out. You will have, not in this piece because the way the fur direction is the wrong way, so I can't use it this way because the fur direction is going that way, so it's not quite enough. So I don't have enough. So it'll just look really weird if you had the fur direction going the wrong way. So that's probably the downside with using fur is, you might have a big piece left over, but the fur direction, you can't use it. So you end up having to, cut it off, all that sort of stuff. is this not recording? Ugh, my card's full. That's why. It's fine. It's always the case. Out there, bring this excess off here. So the Siamese legs are quite small and thin. They're long and thin, I should say, not small. They're long and thin. So I don't think it'll be that hard to sew this one together, to be perfectly honest. Be a bit of excess. Yeah, I mean, I've made that mistake a couple times at the start, but not so much anymore because I know what to do. All right, so I have to do also the neck area. I could. So it's not quite long enough. I might be able to just sew this bit up, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'll just sew that up here, like that. It's going to have grey points, so grey face, ears, and legs and tail. So it'll be a blue point. Blue point Siamese. So I'm going to have to sew that pretty tight, I think. And that should be all right like that. And then the tail, think about the tail. Yeah, I have to rummage through and see if I've got some like extra. Don't think. Oh, ooh. I think we have like just enough for the tail, which is good. Ha! Just enough. Yep, just enough. That's great. Perfect. And it only has to be a really thin piece. But I'll do that once the legs have been sewn up. I'm not going to do that now. Wow, there you go. All right, well, that pretty much sums it up for the day, I think. I'll be back tomorrow. I will do some sewing on this one tomorrow, I think. So we'll try and get into a point where they're all sewn up and then I can do the fun part. So All right, so tomorrow I'll be on about 12:30 till 2-ish again, doing some sewing, doing some work on the yawning kitty. All right. So I'll catch you there later.